Alright guys, let's talk about these two hybrid mouse pads, the AMP500 and the Glide 19. So both of these are hybrid mouse pads, which mean they pretty much have the smooth and fastness of a hard pad, but they have the flexibility of a cloth pad, as you can see. So these two are pretty much the most popular hybrid pads out there, Glide 19 and the AMP500. And people usually have questions about which one they should get, so that's why I'm making this video. Now, the first big difference is their size. And I will have the actual dimensions listed in the video or in the description, either one, just check both. But here is how they lay out. The Glide 19 is definitely smaller. AMP500 it has a few more inches on the Glide 19, and if you really want those extra inches, I think the AMP500 is worth it because of these following points. Aside from their size, their surface is probably their biggest difference. So the surface on the AMP500 is much smoother, and I can do a small sound test, but I don't know if you're going to be able to hear it. That's the Glide 19. Now this is the AMP500. So the smoothness on the AMP500 is very nice. It honestly feels like a cloth pad, or very close to it. But one thing that I will say is stopping power on this isn't as great as the Glide 19. It feels like with the Glide 19, I can just stop immediately. Like that's it. I can just stop. But the Glide 19 is much rougher. It is noticeably rougher whenever you're trying to move the mouse itself and sound, although I'm not sure if it's going to be picking up that sound. So just know that Glide 19 is much rougher. Now, the final difference, and I'm really nitpicking here, but it is a difference. The logo. The logo on the Glide 19 is actually a different texture than the rest of the mouse pad. So whenever you're going over it, at very certain points, it can actually slow your mouse down and it can cause you to aim very weirdly. Same thing with this part of the logo, the little scratches. While the AMP500 is actually etched in, I want to say, and whenever you go over it, you can definitely feel it's there. It's very subtle, but it won't mess up your aim or anything. And it's also located in your bottom left. I don't know about you, but my mouse probably goes there the least. But really, those are the main differences between these. The surface is probably the biggest, or size obviously is the biggest one, but then the surface. I like the AMP500 a lot better, and I think in general, the AMP500 is a better mouse pad. And that's the one I recommend. But I do want to note one more thing with AMP500. You can kind of see there are little air bubbles at the very edges. So if you just look here, you can see it go down a little bit. Now I haven't had too much of an issue with this, but oh, that's trippy. It's very trippy. Anyway, I haven't had too much of an issue with it, but I definitely want to note it because the Mad Catz Glide 19 does not have this issue. It's just flat all throughout. So yeah, that's that. Now, in terms of price, because the AMP500 is $40 or $45 on Amazon, while the Glide 19 is $25. Now, if you are in the US, those are going to be the prices. And in that case, it's really up to you. I personally don't think it's worth $20 more or $15 to $20 more for the AMP500. But if you want the extra mouse space and it definitely feels nicer, then you do you. Now, you can actually get it for cheaper. There's a website called Shop for Megastore, and they will ship it to you. That's how I got mine for $25. So I'll keep a link in the description so you guys can check it out. Keep in mind they're almost always out of stock, and they very shortly go back in stock, so you pretty much have to snipe it from there. But if you guys want to try to snipe it from there, I'll keep it in the description. Now, if you are in a different country, you can usually find these at very similar prices, and if they are a very similar price, AMP500 all the way. I think this is just a better pad. It's much smoother, it's much bigger, and the logos doesn't interfere with you, so yeah. That's pretty much it. If you can get them at the same price, AMP500 is the better way to go, but Glide 19, I want to reiterate this. This is a very good mouse pad. It's way better than a cloth pad. I love using the Glide 19. I think most people will be fine with it too. So that's my review. If you guys have any questions, go ahead and leave it in the comment section below. I'll try to get back to you as soon as possible. I'm usually pretty good about that. But I'll see you guys later.